Ooh. All right, there we go. Hey, how's it going? By the title of this video, you can already tell what I'm going to talk about. And I just want to share my personal story about this, and I want you to see how my mindset and the way I think about it has changed. But before I start this, I gotta show you something really quick. For the past half an hour, I've been trying to fix this. So if you have a look on my camera right here, my microphone on top is like duct tape like here and here and has this frame, and the whole thing completely fell off. I didn't know how to fix it. If you see on my desk, there's like paper, like carton, like duct tape and super glue and whatever else. And what I always keep coming back to is just DIY fixes, and this is how I finally did this. And I'm happy I could do it. So duct tape always does the job somehow. I don't know how. So that's it. Let's go outside and let me show you my story. Yeah, I just had to quickly change tops because the other one was kind of dirty. So that's that.
Now, where is it? Found it.
I was actually expecting for the weather to be a little bit more sunny. It kind of is. Not really, but it doesn't matter. Problem with me making these videos is I always want everything to be perfect. See, like I tried to record something there and explain to you that I'm always struggling with perfection and trying to make these videos, and that clip just failed because there was too much wind blowing in the microphone. So it's just the creative process and creative struggle, isn't it?
I mean, I just gotta stop for a second because look at these colors. This is so beautiful.
So I think what I found is a pretty good location. Actually, I've been just mesmerized by all the nature here and just the colors, the change in the colors because of the autumn, and I couldn't choose a location for like 30 minutes, maybe like an hour, but I think I finally found one. This view is pretty nice. Might change the angle around, but let's get this started. So based on the topic, this might be a long or short video, I'm not sure. I even have a list of things that I want to talk about, but I want to make this detailed and I want you to explain why that I've done what I've done, and I just want you to give you my perspective on things. So somewhere around 2015 or 16, I can't remember exactly, I started working at a water park, and I was working there as a cashier at the fast food. Now, if you ever worked at a fast food, you know what it looks like. All food is processed, and there is not a lot of natural stuff that go on, not a lot of, except the salads, but even the salads, I don't even know how fresh or organic or, good they are. Even though it's salad, it's a lot better than a processed food. I don't think this still as good as something fresh that you would make. And as I started working there, I slowly got really disgusted. Even a little bit before that, I was a little bit disgusted by meat. My body slowly started to reject it. And I slowly started to make the progress of transitioning into a vegan, just like very simple and small things, because I've grown up eating meat and dairy products. It's been just very natural and normal for me, like a lot of people. And it was a little bit of a challenge, mostly because of the dairy stuff, and I have a sweet tooth and I like cheesecakes and that kind of stuff. But the meat wasn't that hard to cut. Still, the smell and all the ribs and this kind of stuff, like the barbecue smell, teased me. But I didn't have too much struggle transitioning because it was a very slow transition. I just began slowly starting to eat less and less meat, and found different options for different stuff. And back then I was I've always been just the rebellion. I've always rebelled just for the act of rebelling, and I've always just been this rebel. Always wanted to rebel against whatever it is, either that's religion or food or whatever it is. I just would not want to fit into the society norms. And one of the things was food. And I decided to rebel on it and go vegan, and I was pretty like almost telling everyone that they should go on a plant-based diet because I was feeling amazing. Because at that time, when you stop eating meat and you transition into a plant-based diet, you slowly get to detoxicate your body from all of the meat, and a lot of the meat that's made these days is from industries, from, you know, they're like raping cows and they're not feeding them grass what they're supposed to be fed, and it's just very industrial business. And I totally did not like that, and that's a part, you know, that's where slowly my spiritual growth started happening on a bigger level, because I started to understand these things. And by that time I was already meditating and I was learning about these things a little bit more. So after, I'd say maybe 6 months, I fully transitioned into a vegan diet, like complete no sweets, that have any dairy, no meat. And yeah, so I had that lifestyle for like 2 or 3 years, until a couple of months ago when I moved to Berlin. I started talking more with my roommates about this stuff, and I just wanted to learn more. I felt like at one point my body started craving it and or desiring meat, or maybe just feeling it, I didn't even know. So I started getting myself educated about that topic, and I found the guy called Paul Chek. Now, I'm not really a nutritionist guy. I don't know too much information about that stuff. I suck at that. And if you ever go vegan or anything like that, and you just decide to make a huge change in your diet, I say 100% get your blood work done, because it's something that I didn't do, and I still haven't done. And I just something that I think of doing and or plan on doing, because I think it's very important, especially if it's something like this where it's affecting your whole body. So I was talking about Paul Chek. If you want to learn more about this stuff, really listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about, and from him I learned a lot more information to be a lot more open-minded. And when when you start doing meditation and this kind of stuff, the regular thing is just to be open-minded about things. It's learning how to be open-minded, and it sounds a little bit cliche, but it is what it is. Yeah, I just got really distracted because there's a lot of people walking their dogs in the park, and then they're letting them run. There's a lot of like beautiful huskies and German shepherds, and the sunset over this fall autumn colorway. It's just so beautiful. But let me continue. Paul Chek taught me, and I've learned a lot from Paul Chek about this stuff, to be more open-minded about this kind of topics, because it's not so simple, and it can turn as bad as religion, where like almost like people knock on your door and it's like, would you like to talk about your Lord and Savior Jesus, to that kind of extreme level, to pushing it to other people and not letting them figure out for themselves. And what I learned from Paul Chek was to really stay open-minded, and the things he talks about are super holistic, and I would suggest just YouTubing him and just seeing the things he talks about. But the basic information that I've learned, and I even watched this yesterday and today, one of them was a little bit about humans and giving so much information, because he traveled to learn about this stuff. And oh my god, I'm getting so distracted because this is so damn beautiful. I just gotta show you for a second. Just have a look.
How amazing is this? How freaking amazing is this? Oh my god. You know, and this camera doesn't have a lot of dynamic range, so you can't see this and this at the same time, but just... oh, that is so awesome.
Alright, so let's get back to what we're talking about. There's 3 different types of animals, and this is very controversial when it gets to veganism, what kind of animal we are. So I actually just pulled it up on my phone because I'm not really good at this stuff. I'm still learning and I'm trying to keep open-minded, but I wanted to spread this information so other people can start learning about them. And yeah. 3 types of animals: herbivore, omnivore, and carnivore. I'll give you a brief description, and that way I'll learn a little bit about it as well. Herbivores are any animals that eat only plants. Carnivores are any animal that sustains itself solely on meat. And omnivores are any animal that can eat both plants and animals. So yeah, I believe, by the information that I've learned until now, we are omnivores. We are not only supposed to be eating plants, but we're supposed to be eating both animals and plants, because why otherwise would God put, God, using the terms God very loosely here, why would there be animals on the planet? And you start to think about it a little bit, and before technological evolution, before that, when we were cavemen, when we were gather hunters, when we were out in the wild, there's people. So imagine the world, imagine all the different continents and everything, and there, there's the tropical, and there is the Antarctic, and there is the whatever, right? Imagine that for a second. So like there is today, there is continents where it's colder and continents where it's warmer, and there's different temperatures and different atmospheres around the world. So imagine like someone who lives in British Columbia, like in Canada or something like that, how would they have food to sustain themselves during the winter when it's cold? Everything is frozen, all the plants are frozen, and the only thing that's going around is animals. So they would have to kill animals to literally stay alive. I'm not going to go very deep into the topic, but I just wanted to give you a brief overview to where this can lead. And this can go very, very... People can really take this as a religion when they choose to be vegan or vegetarian, because a lot of people don't have a meaning in their life. And when they find something like this, that gives them a meaning. And if you know a little bit about human history, I don't really, but I'm just trying to explain to you. So since years ago, we've always just been used to being in tribes. Tribes being these circles of people that have similar interests and or that connect and can communicate good. And one of the reasons that people build religions and build these groups and tribes is because they're trying to find their home, like their community. And veganism and religion and this kind of stuff can very easily become one of those. And once you adapt those beliefs, you can become super aggressive about it. And the reason why I became vegan was actually to stop supporting the meat industry, what they're doing to animals and that kind of stuff. And at one point I went a little bit extreme to actually not caring at all. Like I wanted to be vegan 100% and like not eating meat at all. Like we don't need it in our lives. And then Paul Chek and also like person like Joe Rogan, who talks about this stuff and he hunts his own meat, inspired me to do a little bit more research and listen more and read more about this. And I still haven't done the amount of research that I want to do about this, but I have transitioned slowly to vegetarian, and I'll tell you the reason. Oh, the sun is gonna have to change angles. Hopefully we can do this before the light fully goes away. Vegan has opened my mind to these things quite a bit, and I don't think I'd be the person that I am today without being this, vegan person, have this vegan personality for like almost 3 years. It's enabled me to be a lot more open-minded about things, but at the same time, it has challenged me in my life to do something different and to change my lifestyle. What made me go vegetarian and rethink these things again is that I felt at one point that I felt like my body really needs it. So you have to make a distinguishment. You have to differentiate what is craving and what is needing, what your body is. And for that, you just really have to have a good connection with your body. And it's not something easy. You just have to listen to your body. Stay more connected with it. Like if you work out a lot or if you get super tired, you just have to eat a lot of protein and that kind of stuff. Like I said, I'm a dummy about these things. Like I don't know nothing. I'm still learning about this stuff. And it's good to have someone in your life that challenges your beliefs because sometimes you're stuck in a paradigm, you're stuck in a circle of beliefs and you think that is the ultimate way, that's the only way to do it. But you have to realize that we're all different. Not everyone is on the same diet. You have to figure out what works best for you. And I think that's where you can start experimenting with foods and different diets and that kind of stuff to really figure out what you need, because you can harm yourself by eating too much meat and you can harm yourself by eating too much tomatoes or whatever it is. But if you do decide to actually eat meat and dairy products, which I have decided to do, but I'm still scared of letting go a little bit of that fully vegan personality that I have, just the way I was scared of like cutting my hair. If you don't know, I had a full-on long hair. I was really attached to it, but I decided to cut it off because I didn't want to be so attached to it. I didn't want to associate with Christian being that long-haired dude who listens to metal and rock and roll or who skateboards. And this is another thing that I'm trying to dissociate from. At the moment, I don't think I need meat, but I did eat meat once a couple of months ago, and it was a hard choice because you're so stuck in being this kind of person, and now you're trying to change. But you're trying to change in a way that everyone knows you about for this, and now changing, it's a little bit weird, and it's not also for others, but it's also what you're doing to yourself in a way. So the theory and or idea that some people have adapted is eat what you can kill. So let's start very small, like insects, snails, and then fish and or prawns, crabs, or whatever else lives in the sea, to maybe going a little bit bigger, to maybe like a shark. Well, you can't kill a shark, let's be honest. Well, unless you can, then, I don't know, shoot me a message, let's go shark hunting or something. I'm kidding. And then going to more on the land animals, so to chickens, to pigs, to cows, deers, you name it. And I found it a little bit difficult now thinking that I can kill a thing such as a cow or a deer or a pig. But I would like to ultimately live a lifestyle where I can do that and I can eat the meat that I've hunted, because all of this processed meat is really dead energy. And when you kill something, the energy slowly dies away. But what you have to realize is, and this is a teaching of Paul Chek, this is not my own words, if you were to eat an animal which has been dead for very long and then digest it and everything, it will take your life force to turn it into energy. So have that in mind. I think that's quite important. And when you're eating something fresh that it's like killed about an hour or two ago or yesterday, and you've killed it yourself and that animal has been in a natural habitat, then you're eating information that it has consumed and has lived with, and now you're processing that into your own body. And if you're thinking on a very spiritual and like very conscious level about these things, you can go really deep with it. Okay, now I have to start to bounce from here because the light is going away. You almost can't see me. And I've pretty much talked about everything that I wanted to say and mention. There's a beautiful lady just going on a ride on her bicycle, and she's just singing, and she sounds like a bird. What a beautiful place. What a beautiful place. So that was my brief story. I hope you gained something out of this, and I hope I made you rethink some of the things, because I really think it's important. I really think it's important that we learn more about this, and I think it's important that we stay open-minded about things. And this is a message to myself as well, because I like to, once I find something very interesting and that's very beneficial, I start to be almost religious about it. And it's good in a way, because then it teaches me something else once I face a different truth, but sometimes it's not so good. So this is also a message to myself to be more and more open-minded about things, and maybe there will be even more information that will come out in the future that will change my mindset and the way I think about this. But I just wanted to share this moment because it's a very important change in my life. And yeah. So I wanted to thank you for listening to me mumble about these things, because it's something that I wanted to share and get out there, and maybe I will get more people to be more open about these things, and who knows, maybe I will change my opinion in the future about this. But what I wanted to wrap this up with is that really to stay open-minded about things, because there is so much information about things, and we're all so different, but also similar at the same time. It's really like the paradox of life, and really listening to yourself and your body, what it needs, is going to be a lot better in the end than just trying to be in a community and trying to fit in a specific kind of society and rebel against the others, because it's something that I've done and I still do about certain things, and it's still something that I'm trying to be more open about it and learn about it. So yeah, I hope you learned something new, and I hope I made you rethink these things a little bit again. Maybe someday in the future I will make a video about the exact opposite thing. You never know. That's it. Thank you for your attention. Thanks for watching this. And if you did enjoy it and learn something new, click the like button for me. And that's it. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.